know China's most secret animal?
Give me some clues and I'll search for it.
All right. The secret animal is rarely heard of. It's part of a large family and it has a famous relative.
China has a large family of pheasants. They generally live in the forests. Although they can fly, they spend most of their time on the ground. Many of them are brilliantly coloured birds, which have inspired Chinese artists for thousands of years. Is the secret animal a bird?
It might be. I'm not giving away too many clues this early. We've only just started.
Let's look at some other birds that live in China. Perhaps the secret animal lives for a long time, like the Manchurian crane. They can live for 50 years. The Manchurian crane is a symbol of long life. In Chinese legends, they are said to live for 1,000 years. Manchurian cranes also represent love, because cranes mate for life. Cranes can make loud calls, which may be heard up to 2 kilometres away. Mandarin ducks are also members of a large family. Ducks have their legs set far back along their bodies, which is why they walk so awkwardly on land, but they are very graceful in water.
I'll give you another clue. The secret animal doesn't belong to a family of birds.
Maybe the secret animal is a member of the reptile family. I know some reptiles that live in China. If the secret animal is a member of the reptile family, it might be the Chinese crocodile lizard. The crocodile lizard is related to the crocodile family, and like its larger cousins, it has a double row of horned scales along its tail. The crocodile lizard is known as the lizard with great sleepiness, because it just lies by riverbanks, sleeping in the sun.
The secret animal also lies in the sun during the day. That's your next clue.
The Chinese water dragon is another member of the reptile family that lies in the sun, but it's also an excellent swimmer. Water dragons often wave their legs around to improve their circulation.
I'll give you another clue. The secret animal doesn't lay eggs.
So it's probably not a reptile. What else can you tell me?
Well, it's a very gentle animal.
The Chinese water deer is a gentle animal. Water deer like to live in long grass, so that if frightened, they can quickly hide. Water deer live in marshlands in China. Water deer don't grow antlers like other deer. Instead, the males have long teeth that look like tusks. They are very secretive animals and are rarely seen in the wild.
Chinese water deer live in herds. They're unique amongst deer because they can give birth to up to 7 fawns. Most deer give birth to 1 or 2.
The muntjac deer is also a very gentle animal. It lives in the dense forests of China. The muntjac deer is preyed upon by leopards, tigers, wolves and eagles. It prefers to live alone and moves slowly and cautiously, hiding during the day and coming out to feed in the late morning and early evening. The muntjac deer has a very good sense of smell and good hearing.
The muntjac deer is also known as the barking deer. That's because when it's frightened, it barks like a dog. This barking noise can be heard from a long way away and warns other animals in the forest of danger.
Is the muntjac deer the secret animal?
No, but the secret animal also makes an unusual noise when it's frightened.
What about the goral? It makes a sneezing sound when it's frightened. Gorals live in the mountains of China and belong to a large family known as goat antelopes. Their legs and feet are adapted for jumping and climbing. In the winter, gorals are often up to their bellies in snow and have to jump to move about. After feeding in the morning, gorals have a drink and then find a sunny place to rest until the evening. The Tarkin is also a member of the goat antelope family. Tarkins live on steep mountain ranges in China. They feed in the late afternoon, eating twigs, leaves and bamboo shoots. Tarkins live in large herds of up to 300 in summer, but in winter they break up into smaller groups. The older male Tarkins often prefer to live alone. Although they look awkward, Tarkins can move quickly around the mountains.
The Tarkin is hunted by the local people for food.
Is the secret animal hunted?
Yes.
If the secret animal has been hunted, it might be Pear David's deer. They were so widely hunted that they became extinct in the wild. Pear David's deer are named after a priest, Father Armand David, who described them in the 19th century. During the Boxer Rebellion in 1900, the few Pear David's deer which remained in the Chinese Emperor's private herd were also wiped out.
Fortunately, there were still some Pear David's deer left in zoos. These were taken to England and bred successfully. Recently, Pear David's deer have been returned to live in China. Pear David's deer is a very good guess, but it isn't China's most secret animal.
The secret animal has a famous relative, it isn't a bird or a reptile, and it's very gentle. What's another clue?
The secret animal has a thick coat.
If the secret animal has a thick coat, it could be the yak. The yak has a thick, shaggy coat, which helps it to survive in the cold mountains. There are two types of yak in China, the wild yak and the domesticated yak. Wild yak live at a higher altitude than any other animal in the world, up to 6,000 metres above sea level. They survive in freezing cold temperatures. When a herd of yak travel through the snow, they walk in single file. Each yak will place its feet in the tracks of the one in front.
That's how they can tell the ground under the snow is safe to walk on. Wild yak are larger than domesticated yak, which the mountain people use to carry loads and to provide milk and wool. Do you know of any other domesticated animals that live in China?
Bactrian camels live in China. They're used as pack animals and for their meat, milk and wool, which is spun from their long, thick coats. Their coats protect them from the extremes of climate where they live, from the cold mountains to the heat of the desert.
The Bactrian camel has two humps, unlike the African dromedary camel, which has only one. Camels can live off the body fat stored in their humps. If the Bactrian camel has been without food for a long time, its humps will flop over. When they are well fed, their humps stand up.
And Bactrian camels can survive without drinking water for almost a year. But when they can drink over 100 litres in less than 10 minutes. That's like drinking 500 glasses of water. The water buffalo is another domesticated animal which lives in China. There are over 10 million domestic buffalo in China. Water buffalo are used for ploughing, carrying loads and pulling carts. Water buffalo have reasonably good eyesight, but they can't see the colour red. Both male and female water buffalo have horns. They are the largest horns of any cattle, growing well over 1 metre long.
I think I should tell you, the secret animal isn't domesticated. Here's another clue. The secret animal is only found in a remote area of China.
The tahr is found high in the rugged Himalayan mountain ranges in China. They also have thick coats. Tahrs are part of a large family and are related to sheep and goats. They are very agile and can jump across wide ravines. They can also leap long distances and land easily on narrow ledges on the side of mountains.
Male tahrs generally live alone except in the spring mating season. The males will then fight so fiercely that they can sometimes be killed by falling from the mountains.
Bharal sheep live in the remote mountains of China and Tibet, in alpine meadows between the forests and the snow. When a herd of Bharal sheep is grazing, there are always lookouts posted to protect the other sheep. Barrel sheep are unusual because their coat has a blue colour. Their colour helps camouflage them. It blends in perfectly with the blue rocks of the open hillsides, where the barrel sheep live. In fact, barrel sheep are also called blue sheep.
Barrel sheep do belong to a large family, but they're not the secret animal. I'll give you another clue. The barrel sheep has hoofed feet. The secret animal's feet are very different.
I know a Chinese animal that has paws. Perhaps it's the secret animal. If the secret animal doesn't have hoofed feet, then it might be the Himalayan black bear. It has paws. The black bear has a white patch in the shape of the crescent of the moon on its chest and chin. That's how it gets its other name of moon bear. The Himalayan black bear is mainly vegetarian, but it will also eat meat. In very cold weather, black bears will sleep for a few days in their dens, but they don't hibernate for long periods like other bears. The Himalayan black bear is one of the most aggressive of the bear family.
The Himalayan black bear may even be the reason behind the legend of the abominable snowman. That's because it sometimes leaves only 2 footprints in the snow when it walks for short distances on its back legs.
The Himalayan black bear has a thick coat and lives in a remote part of China. And it belongs to a large family. Is it the secret animal?
No, but do you know of any other members of the bear family which live in China?
The Manchurian brown bear lives in mountainous country in China. Wild boars are one of its favourite things to eat. It also likes to eat birds, fish, plants and honey. The Manchurian brown bear needs to live near water because although it doesn't drink much, it likes to swim and bathe quite often. The Manchurian brown bear's newborn cubs are so tiny that it is about a month before they look like a bear at all. If a young brown bear loses its parents, it will often be adopted by other adult bears.
Brown bears once lived from Japan to Britain, but they have been hunted to extinction in many places. Brown bears were hunted for their coats and because they were thought to be unpredictable and ferocious. But they aren't nearly as aggressive as most people think.
Brown bears use their paws like we use our hands. They can grasp food with their claws and put it in their mouths. And like humans, some bears are right-handed and some are left-handed. Perhaps the secret animal has hands instead of paws. Some monkeys have hands. The black gibbon lives in the forests in the south of China. Although they are called black gibbon, they can be black or yellow. Black gibbons can be very loud. They make noises to tell others of their location and to defend their territory. Black gibbons have a thick coat of fur, so thick that it would absorb water and sink them if they ever fell from their trees into a river below.
Is the black gibbon active at night?
No, the black gibbon sleeps through the night.
The secret animal is active at night. That's your next clue.
The Manchurian tiger hunts for its food at night. During the daytime, it stays hidden in the forest. The Manchurian tiger is the largest of all the tigers. A large male can grow to almost 4 meters in length, including its tail. It is also the rarest of the tigers. Manchurian tigers eat fish, birds, deer, and other mammals.
Including people, although tigers are normally scared of humans. The Manchurian tiger is a good climber, just like the secret animal.
The golden cat is a good climber, and it also hunts at night. It marks its territory by leaving claw marks on tree trunks. Golden cats eat some domestic animals, including chickens and sheep, but they also eat wild animals, such as deer.
Are there any other cats that live in China?
Of all the cats that live in China, the Chinese leopard is probably the best at climbing trees. They hunt at night, and when they have caught their prey, they drag it to a quiet place to eat. Like tigers, the Chinese leopard has a reputation as a man-eater, but it's rare for it to attack people.
I'll give you another clue. The secret animal has a very unusual face.
I know a Chinese monkey with a very unusual face. If the secret animal can climb well and has an unusual face, it might be the golden monkey. It has one of the most unusual faces of all Chinese animals. The golden monkey is also one of the rarest animals in China. The golden monkey has been represented in Chinese art for nearly 3,000 years. Europeans would not believe that such a strange-looking animal could exist until 1871, when the first golden monkey was brought from China. Golden monkeys grow a thick coat of fur during winter, and when it snows, they hug each other to stay warm. When a female golden monkey wants to be hugged, she tells a male by butting him with the top of her head.
The secret animal doesn't do that.
What about the Hog Nosed Badger? It also has an unusual face, with a nose like a pig. It uses its nose to dig into soft earth and find worms and insects to eat.
The Hog Nosed Badger lives on the ground. Don't forget, the secret animal can climb. Here's another clue. The secret animal lives in bamboo forests.
That's easy. I know a Chinese animal that's very rare and lives in bamboo forests. The giant panda. This must be the secret animal. It lives in bamboo forests, it's gentle, and it has a thick coat of fur. It makes high-pitched yelping noises and can climb trees. Giant pandas are highly endangered.
That's because the bamboo forests which provide their food are being cut down. Giant pandas were seen outside China for the first time in the early 1930s, and they have become one of the world's most loved animals.
Giant pandas have an unmistakable face. This must be the secret animal.
What do giant pandas eat?
Bamboo.
That's right. That's all they eat. The secret animal eats bamboo, but it also eats birds. Remember, the secret animal is related to a famous animal.
Does the giant panda have any relatives?
The giant panda only has one close relative, a much smaller animal. It eats bamboo, but it also eats fruit and birds.
Is this China's most secret animal?
Yes, it's a red panda. The red panda is active at night and rests during the day. It lives in dense forests and spends most of its life in the trees. It lives in a den and makes a nest from leafy twigs. The red panda only comes down to the ground to eat. It's also gentle, and when frightened, it makes squeaking, whistling noises.
It looks a little bit like a fox.
Yes, in China, the red panda is called hun ho, which means firefox, because of its brightly coloured fur. Pandas are members of a large family which includes raccoons, although some people believe they might be related to bears. Red pandas usually live in groups of females and their young. The males prefer to live alone. The babies, called cubs, are born blind, and their eyes open when they are 2 to 3 weeks old. By the age of 4 months, they are able to play and follow their mothers. The red panda has been hunted for its coat, and like the giant panda, is endangered. Unlike its famous relative, the red panda is not well known. They are rarely seen in the wild.
Yes, I can see why the red panda is China's most secret animal.